Now I want to show you a really neat tool that's really part of Visual Studio 2008, but it works with C# and it makes it a lot easier to build your classes. And the easy way to do this is we're going to use a class diagram here. And what I'll need to do is, and I'm still in this VTC Create Class solution, and which by the way will be in your working files folder, and you will be able to access this thing. It'll be included on your DVD or CD, and you'll be able to just open this up and work with it. So just look for the VTC Create Class solution. Now, if I right click on my project and choose View Class Diagram, this is going to show me a diagram of all the classes currently in this particular project. Notice here's my form class, and if I click on it and highlight it, there's the methods that are in it and the properties and the fields and so forth. And I'm going to pull this up so we can see more. And any events, there is, remember the animal class we did in the video called Creating a Class. Here's our board method and our feed method and our properties and our fields. Well, now I want you to see what I can do much easier. I can right click in this white area and choose Add Class. And this is going to add a class, and we'll just call this Class 1. And I'll hit OK. And notice as soon as I did, Class 1 shows up over here. And now I have Class 1 highlighted here. And I can come down here, and to add a method, I just click right here on Add Methods. And so I'll type a new method in, and I'll call this Test Method 1. And as soon as I click somewhere else, it has added that method. Now if I go double click on Class 1, you will notice it has a method, public void test method 1. I didn't put a return value, but it has written this code out for me. So I will go back into my class diagram, and I will come to test method 1, and I'll say, you know what, let's return a string. And you'll notice if I go back into the class, it has made that change. So it's actually writing this code for me. All right, but it takes care of things like not fat fingering and getting all my squigglies and all that stuff. I'll add another method, test method 2, and on this one it will return an integer type. But notice if I click the little plus sign, I can add a parameter to it. I can add x and come over here and click, and x is a string. And then if I go back to my class, I'll click anywhere here, go back to my class, you will notice that method 2 is expecting a string to be passed when it's called, okay, and it's going to return an integer. Now notice each one of these is putting a throw new system not implemented exception, that if I try to call this, it's going to throw an error, okay. And so what I want to do is come in here now and add code for whatever functionality that I want it to have. But this kind of puts the skeletal structure out there. So let's go back and do one more thing. I'll double click on it again. On my properties, I want a property called size, and I will create a field right here called lowercase size, and I'm going to leave that as an integer, but I can make it whatever I want, but I'll leave it as an integer. And so now when I go into my class 1, you'll notice that it has created for me, since I had a private integer or a field of size and a public, and so now all I have to do is go in here and just change this and set these for what I want them to be. And so with this one, I would return size, the small one, and then on my set portion, I would set size equal to the value, that intrinsic that it's there, and I'm done with my property. So as you can see, this is a really cool thing, and you can also see that if I right click, I can do a lot of other things, delegates, comments, structures, abstract classes, and so forth that we won't get into in this class because it's an intro class. And again, this is a function of Visual Studio 2008, but it will write your C# code for you, and it will really help you get your structure correct inside your class, and it's a very easy way to have that happen. So take a look at this tool and just kind of get used to using it. It can also help you see what classes you have out there in your project. and help you see what methods and properties and so forth are in there. Notice if I click the little drop down, it will expand that, and I can see all my methods, properties, fields, and so forth. Really cool functionality here.